Joining us now to go through what's making the news is a childhood hero of mine, Pat Sharp, of many talents, of course, but Funhouse fame back in the day.
Thank you, Ben.
And Paula London, of course, the broadcaster and commentator. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Can I just talk about Funhouse really quickly, because we're just so excited about it. I can't believe it ran from, what was it, 1989 to 2000, and you fronted every single episode.
Myself and the twins Isabel did every rerun, the fun, whole lot of fun, etc. All the bits you've just been singing.
Yeah. I mean, I literally came home from school every day and would watch that, and just so many memories. It's the gunge and the go-karts and the songs. It's great.
Thank you for
Lovely to have you on.
Thank you so much.
But we're going to start with Paula.
No, well, that's fair enough.
And Paula, this is a story in the Telegraph. The cost in terms of tax relief of working from home, these tax breaks that people have been exploiting. Is this a loophole or is this people being smart?
It's not a loophole, it's very smart. Actually, prior to lockdown, only 16,000 people claimed. Now there's been an increase of 19-fold. So obviously more and more people are working from home now, which is obviously affecting businesses in town centres, etc. But yeah, if you can claim some money, why not? So home workers allowance, a lot of people think it's only minimal, but it's energy costs and other things as well.
So what can you claim on? It's you can claim back your electricity use, any office materials, or, I mean, stapler or something? Yeah,
Wi-Fi, I would have thought. I don't know, maybe water. I mean, there's probably quite a few things.
I've heard of people in another country, to be fair, but claiming, because they work from home off their government, air conditioning units being fitted. And
that can be quite expensive.
Yeah.
Can you just say...
New carpets.
Could you not just say you're working from home the whole time, though, Pat? I mean...
Well, you could. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's interesting when Paula said water there. I'm not sure if you can claim too much on water, do you think?
Well, the water cooler, I suppose, it's essential in every workplace.
Yeah, maybe, and those little sort of tablets that go into the softener as well. OK, keep going. Tipex.
But, you know, wherever there is tax relief, isn't that taxpayers' money at the end of the day? It's costing all of us that these people are working from home, and there is a sort of feeling from a lot of people that it's shirking from home. So why should the taxpayer be footing the bill for people who are taking naps whilst they should be in the office, you know, grafting?
Well, I think for starters, it's actually safer to work from home. A lot of people are travelling in, you know, the tube in central London, which clearly isn't safe at the moment. Bus fares have gone up.
Why is it not safe?
Tube fares.
The tube? Why is it not
millions and millions of people use it every day.
The tube is... I don't think the tube's very... I don't feel comfortable personally getting the tube because of the type of people. Like, I've been about 3 times, someone's tried to steal my phone. I've had men touch themselves inappropriately in front of me and things like that. So now, for me, I'll get a taxi or an Uber rather than get the tube. So I would feel safer working from home than having to travel, say, 7 in the morning on the tube. Years ago, I would have felt, OK, now I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah. OK, yeah, good point. I was saying to Isabel this morning that I get the train for this shift in at about 3 in the morning from a certain station, and it's a completely different world. The people you see, the clientele who are up and around that time, sketchy to say the least. I'm OK. I like to...
But you're a man, you see, so different.
I did say that to you. I said, do you feel nervous? She said, I think I can handle myself. I like that, I can handle myself.
Say that.
Pat, young drivers illegally using phones behind the wheels is reaching an 8-year high. I'm really surprised by this story, because we hear all the time that the young are really virtuous, they don't drink, they don't take drugs, they're kind of fun sponges. But turns out that they're happy to flout this law. So what's this all about?
Well, I think because more and more young people are not drinking and doing things that perhaps people did in different generations, they still love their phone and it's in front of their eyes even when they're driving. I mean, this is from the RAC. 21 years ago it was first law. Can you believe that? 21 years ago we weren't allowed to use our phones behind the wheel. Doesn't seem that long. It's now at its highest rate in 8 years, and 55% of drivers under 25 admitted to not only just making calls behind the wheel, but a bunch of them also said that we're doing voice notes, we're sending text messages, emails and videos.
Not being facetious, but what is the difference between, you know, doing a voice note and perhaps switching on your handheld, what's it called?
Hands-free.
Hands-free, and then switching through to get to the right person through your phone book. I never think that hands-free is that safe. It still involves a little bit of engagement, but what's so much safer about that legally than doing a voice note?
Well, if you've got a pretty new car, you can ask Siri, if you've got an iPhone, to make the call for you, so you don't actually have to touch anything at all.
I don't have anything like that in my car.
Okay. I mean, there are older cars that don't even have hands-free.
Yeah.
So then what do? You turn your phone off and wait till you get there.
Yeah.
There are calls now for hands-free to be banned as well.
I think when you have hands-free, you're not concentrating properly. If you're like a roundabout and you're on the phone, even hands-free, you're speaking to someone, I just think it's unsafe.
But that being said, I do lots of long journeys, and that is an absolute dead time for me, and it's great to make the call to my mum or whoever I haven't spoken to in a while, because as soon as I'm home, I'm busy doing stuff. So I do think making calls while you're driving can be safe. It's just I think, yeah.
What is the difference between making a call and speaking as I'm speaking now, as if I was on a hands-free, or telling perhaps your kid behind to be quiet?
Well, exactly.
It's not
kids
really...
in the back are very dangerous as well, aren't they?
People seem to call at inconvenient times. You'll probably be like on the motorway, very quiet, and then you'll get to a roundabout, then someone will call. So obviously that's annoying when you need to concentrate.
OK.
Stop banning things.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yes.
Stop it, says Ben.
Hands-free's fine.
Stop it now.
What else should we move on to now? What about, Paula, you liked this AI one. Exam boards in schools should consider using artificial intelligence to write GCSE and A-level papers. That's according to the chief of Ofqual, which is an exam.
Yes. I mean, I would like for a programme to be developed so we can stop people cheating using AI, because it's happening so much now in GCSEs, even degrees, and in A-levels, but that hasn't been invented yet. But now the governor said he wants AI to be used to write some exams, which is a slippery slope for me.
Because it's just saving on getting them to do any work, you know, stop the Ofqual.
Well, AI is often smarter than the human brain.
I don't know how much you've used AI, but I find anything that I've ever asked it to produce has been really rubbish, and I can do much better myself. I don't think it can...
You must be very smart, though, because a lot of people...
I don't think it compete with the sort of nuance and the kind of, you know, phraseology that we would use. It's also still quite American, so you can spot it a mile off.
And it only works based on values that humans have already inputted into it. You know, it's sourcing...
Yeah,
it's
but the
not a
prices of
sentient thing
humans,
where it's got its own thoughts. It's just drawing data that's already there that humans have put into it.
But, you know, I don't know what you're like with map reading. You know, I think I've got a decent sense of direction, but ever since I've had sat-nav, I cannot remember how to get anywhere because I'm absolutely dependent on it. So you switched off a certain part of your brain. And my fear is with AI, all these kids are going to come through, they get given a creative task for their homework, they simply won't engage that part of their brain, and it will just be about getting the computer to do it. And we're missing out on originality, human creativity, all those wonderful things that sets us apart.
A lot of teachers can't figure out what's AI and what isn't, though. And I've overheard students in restaurants saying that they're paying people to do their, their work and stuff, or AI. Well,
I'm obviously not going to name them. I know of people who, at one point, and not me because I never went to uni, but they bought a couple of university dissertations from the internet for hundreds of pounds, submitted them to the university, and they were never caught.
Yeah,
they were given degrees with dodgy dissertations.
It's really sad.
So cheating.
I worked really hard at school.
Yeah, Paula was living before this. She goes, I should have had AI.
I know.
No, work there's something satisfying about
I like school.
I agree.
Deadline.
Do it yourself.
Yeah, DIY.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they're on social media. They've got the spare time because they're paying people to do the homework or using AI.
See, AI can't hang up a picture like DIY.
Exactly. Get AI to try and do something practical.
Give it 10 years.
It's coming.
Pat Sharp, Paula London, thank you. You'll be back in the next hour.
In the meantime, let's take a look at the forecast. Here's Aidan McGibbon.